an answer if you can learn to break the rules. Our biggest obstacle when we are faced with an impossible problem is inside us. It is that our experiences, mistaken assumptions, half-truths, misplaced generalities, and habits keep us from brilliant solutions. The great new ideas, the vital solutions exist. They are just outside the prevailing thought. Otherwise, someone would have found them already. You must break the rules to solve impossible problems. Breaking rules and solving problems. I sometimes ask myself how it came about that I was the one to develop the theory of relativity. The reason, I think, is that a normal adult never stops to think about problems of space and time. These are things which he has thought about as a child. But my intellectual development was retarded, as a result of which I began to wonder about space and time only when I had already grown up. Albert Einstein. Saying that rule-breaking was the secret to Einstein's genius is a big claim. He was also naturally brilliant and extremely tenacious. How do we know that rule-breaking wasn't just an ancillary quirk of his genius? Let's do a simple thought experiment to learn what was responsible for Einstein's great ideas. Einstein loved thought experiments, so it is appropriate that he is the subject of ours. We will examine Einstein's intelligence, knowledge, and rule-breaking and see how they affected his creative output. And we will do it without any complicated physics or math. Einstein's intelligence was consistently high throughout his life. We will represent this as a horizontal line in our thought experiment. Einstein's vast knowledge of mathematics and science increased steadily throughout his life. We will represent his knowledge as a line sloping upward. So far, this is just what we would expect from a genius. But when we look at Einstein's problem-solving output, something seems wrong. Beginning in 1905, just out of the university, Einstein had a prolonged period of truly revolutionary thinking. With 3 papers written in his spare time, he started science down the road of relativity, quantum mechanics, and atomic theory. For almost 20 years, he made important advances in science. In particular, he developed his special and general theories of relativity, which, among other things, make your GPS work. Even in the 21st century, experimental physicists are still finding new ways that the Einstein of this period was right. It is an incredible intellectual legacy. And then, abruptly, Einstein's problem-solving dropped off. We will represent this decline as a downward-sloping line. Einstein continued to work hard on the important problems of physics. In fact, he claims to have spent 100 times more effort on quantum physics problems than he had spent on relativity. He was still brilliant. He knew even more about physics and math. He had uninterrupted time for his work and constant collaboration with the world's greatest minds. But he didn't solve any more important scientific problems. We would expect Einstein's problem-solving to correlate with his intelligence and knowledge. Instead, his problem-solving ability declined as his knowledge increased. Innovation was highest when knowledge was lowest. It seems wrong. We would dismiss the results of our thought experiment if the pattern weren't repeated in the lives of so many brilliant people. People willing to break the rules, solve impossible problems. They are usually newcomers to the field without the baggage of years of precedent. It wasn't Einstein, the wise old professor, that first solved the mysteries of space and time. He was a kid a few years out of college. He worked at the Swiss Patent Office reviewing improvements to laundry wringers. He did physics on the side. And he was breaking rules. The problem Einstein solved that gave us